the yields on bonds will drop as the price rises. And assume it was China. China was trying to go in and let our yields rise by selling their bonds, lowering the price, right? And what he did, he brought it back. And I'm sure that was government coordination to take care of that influx of selling. That's what I think anyway. Was anybody else watching the bonds when that went on? If you're watching the market, remember when the market just started selling off and selling off and selling off? Okay. That was that's what you were looking at. Okay. So anyway, I wanted to point it out to you because it's sort of interesting to watch these games that they play, nations play even, traders. Okay. Traders. Uh, let's see what we got here. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes. Jonathan was late getting the thing out. I was late getting my notice out, so let's give everybody a chance to get here. But right now, you got the market is at 53.84. I think it's been as high as 54.02. RB4, which is from 1:30 to 2, sort of define the day, and I think that is something that I think that's something that we got to break out of that range. Okay. Spent an awful lot of time today working with people this morning. Now, who was there this morning during the time period 9 o'clock to about? I guess we stayed for a couple hours, didn't we? This morning. Yeah, it was an opportunity to show people a couple techniques for getting, a look at the market that early in the morning. But it was pretty interesting to watch it because it was just spinning. I call it swap and spit. Had a pretty good range, to do that in, but it was just round and round and round. And it was not until, again, it was not until after Genesis that this thing took off. I mean, it took off big time after Genesis. I mean, we rallied 160 S&P points, So I did do some educated buying today in Berkshire. Did anybody buy Berkshire? Did I put that out? I put that out there to buy Berkshire today, an option play. Went out into May with it. I haven't checked it, but it looks pretty good. The stock looks pretty good. Yeah, it's at 524 almost. So that let you go home smiling. I also did a all services trade in gold, where like it's always my default trade to go to if nothing else is, if I can see nothing else, and I did a default trade in gold, which I'm pretty pleased with. Who did the gold trade? Did anybody do the gold trade that I did? I do that when you have strategies on the bench because it's hard to do things. It's hard to do things in a market like this with the VIX so high. The VIX will eventually come down, but until it drops, you got to make select, I call select targeted plays like that. And I was very pleased I was able to get that off. I was able to get the weekend side hustle trade off. I had to switch my tickers because of the different options. And but not a lot of trades, but it's all that I have, and I'm not going to make trades just for the sake of making trades. They have to have probabilities on our side, or I'll keep these hands in my pocket, and I just have to do that. I mean, I don't want people to lose money, and in this market, it's easy to lose money, so you got to be very, very, very tight. This week, we had big success in our Futures First program. I've got a 9 o'clock trade there. I did it twice last week. Basically gave people a scholarship. If they had enough contracts, it sure did pay. Had that one teed up. There's a few nuggets out there you can jump onto in a situation that is, that is set up that way. Biggest news of the week, though, star of the week was Genesis with the big play on the explosion we had when the NASDAQ went up, 12% in a day? That was a big trade of the week there. All by a computer. All by a computer telling us time to dance. So I'm gonna get started. I think people are still signing in. So let's get into the wrap up. High degree of risk involved in trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Okay. And Barry says he loves my Berkshire Hathaway trade. As they say in the South, that dog a hunt. Yeah, it's Berkshire's. I've been talking about how good it was. Today, it actually gave a buy signal. Former Air Force officer, active trader since the 70s. Former member of Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Author of 3 books, Winning a Day Trading Game, Markets Never Sleep, and Trade to Win. Detail will help you master the markets. Now, those are not just words to me. I'm serious about trying to educate people from my experiences to save you the pain and suffering I went through to learn all this stuff. And I'd keep a notebook and write things down because I see things from time to time that enable you to take advantage of different things in the market. Okay? That's what I do. In my opinion, it's a rough market, but you got to trade less and trade smarter during this peak. And it's very easy to follow. I spent time this week teaching about the VIX. I spent time teaching about the VIX securities and VIX futures. And so you have what I look at to basically see what's happening each day. And I think you now get a good understanding of that. This week, this is something that'll shock you, but this week the market opened at 5,000. It's currently 53.95. 53.95. That's 385 points, but that's not the whole story. It's been as high as 55.02. 55.02. That's incredible, isn't it? That's just incredible. This is the best week we've seen since the November election. That's hard. When I heard that, I said, I need to let people know because it didn't occur to me. But here's the difference. Back during the election, the VIX was less than 17, 16. Now the VIX futures is over 30. It's a whole different environment. It makes the bid-ask spreads on options very wide. It gets more difficult getting in and out of trades because of the rapid movement when the VIX is at 30. That's the difference. And here's a list of stocks. I've been building my watch list for when we can go in and throw a few darts here and there. And certain times, because I'm watching all the time, they set up for short-term trades. Here's some stocks that held up. Berkshire, top of my list. Gold. Boy, that gold was good to us today, wasn't it? Goodness gracious. Silver's good. BJ's good. Gilead's good. Dollar General's good. These are stocks, if they weather the storm during these tough times, they'll be really good the second half of the year. Really good the second half of the year. Put it on your list. follow these stocks. If you use our great tool of MTI by DTI, you can go through each one of these. This is what he took a picture. It signaled when it was time to go long. So that's when I did that option play on it. Everybody look at it right there. Breaking out on Berkshire. That was about 520. It's now where's the Berkshire? 520, 525. 525. I love this tool. Love this tool. MTI by DTI. There's the gold. That's just why I sold those puts on gold. And that's why you're making money. Everybody see that? You can find a needle in the haystack sometimes, but there it is right there. That's pretty good stuff right there to me. Do y'all appreciate me making an all service trade to make sure everybody gets a little bit of something like that? I think I'm the only one that does it, but I do it because I want you to know patience will pay. Patience will pay. Like my pocket puts. There's BJ. Gilead. Notice it's corrected, but Gilead is basically saying it gets back above about 111. We could play it maybe next week. We'll see. Long term, these stocks look good. They just depend on the cycle they're in. And that MTI is great to figure that out. Dollar General. Haven't traded it yet, but I'm getting ready. Dollar General. This week I spent a lot of time, like I said, educating, training, and educating, trying to get you into a lot of different things. And I did it. I think everybody here that was with me, y'all learned something this week, right? About the market. You ought to feel good. If you got any questions, you ought to go back through the tapes we made. This week was quite an educational week, I thought. I spent a lot of time with you during this market turmoil, and I feel pretty good about that. Okay. I covered emotions in trading. Everybody needed that. I needed that. Emotions in trading. Charts. I look at charts different. Anybody that'll ever watch, I show you inside the chart, and basically it's a tape read approach to chart reading that nobody does but me. And I showed people how to look for things. I got one email from one chap. He said, Tom, you've been trading for 20 years. No one had ever showed him what to look for in that relationship. And he had a great week. Great week. Always trying to determine long, short, or out, no matter when I'm looking at the market. For any ticker, I'm looking at the market. I covered the Genesis time, hammered it this week, the daily double, training, master classes. And then today, I open up the pre-market to show you a little bit of things you can learn when you get out of bed and have a cup of coffee. The pre-market. A lot of money's made in the pre-market. Jennifer, Jonathan, I have to tell you how to go back and watch, but we got it on the recorded. He'll be glad to tell you. I spent a lot of time teaching one of the greatest tickers for traders to use during times of such high volatility. I gave you insights to it. And I really, really think that now you got a different ticker to follow on these wild markets like today. SQQ, when the market goes down, buy it. When the market goes up, buy the TQQ. No commission in and out. You can control your risk. I have a whole recorded thing this week I covered on that. And I think it's on the day I did the emotional information. Good information that you can use to help yourself. I used a lot of techniques during the live appearances to show you different things. As I could think of it in this kind of market environment. The highlight of my week was watching Genesis put a lot of money in people's pockets. A lot of money. Thomas G, 25,000 a day, most of it on the QQQ from the Genesis buy. SPY and other things he had moving on that big rally. What a trade. Bruno, I felt so good for Bruno because he was really hurting. Talked to him. He had a good day. Everybody needs a good day every now and then. He had one. Kevin has done really well. And on this day, he posted this in the room. Way to go, Kevin, on what he learned trading the TQQ Nestle. There's money there, folks. I wouldn't spend time trying to educate you if I couldn't help you in that area. Okay? There's money there. And the TQQ, SQQ, it's simple. Jason said he made 2,000 on Genesis, well worth the money. Anytime you saw the labor it takes this morning, I went through it step by step. It took me about an hour and a half to explain all that. Would you rather a computer dial all that stuff in there and give you the answer? That's what Genesis was about. Well worth it. Now, I always tell people when the market gets untradeable, you'll hear me say this, patience will pay. Let me tell you from my point of view. I do not want to put a trade on for trading sake. I've done that in the past. They don't turn out too well. So if you see a trade that I put on, it means the odds are in my favor. It's worth taking the risk. I don't want to expose you to a market that I've got my hands in my pocket 90% of the time. However, if you see me make a trade, it's a good chance that is a trade that meets all the criteria. Does everybody understand that? In this kind of market right here, you have to understand we have great strategies, different ways to exercise on those strategies, but sometimes you have to go on pause to wait for everything to clear. And so I always use this time to learn and educate myself about the market. Think about this. I used to promote for the ICE exchange, who has the US dollar. I used to promote for them years ago. Today, I'm thinking, I need to see this dollar in real time. I found a website, investing.com, that gives it to you free in real time. I now have it up watching the dollar because I trade a lot of gold. We were getting to the point it was no longer gold's in a bull market. Gold is being a catch-all for a lot of panic. And people were buying gold, okay? And I said, I need to know when they're going to buy and when there's not. Next week, I plan to have a class on showing you how to use that investing.com with gold and silver trades. If you want me to. Who wants me to do that next week? I got to see a yes, a lot of yeses if you want me to do it. It's a lot of work doing this, but I'll do it if you want to have it. So I'll take investing.com over the weekend, study how to use that website again, and then tie it into gold and maybe other things that we can use, okay? Just to improve your odds. But I'm never going to try to put you in a trade just for trading's sake. Anybody that does that does not have your best interest in their mind. You need to know that. Okay? Keep that in the back of your mind. Okay? Patience will pay. Now, breaking news. I've got a program I've been working on. You know I trade. Who knows that I typically trade the pre-market? Anybody know that? That I trade the pre-market. In TNT, you know it, right? Because I get up early, right? 5 o'clock in the morning, I get up, right? Because I do all my work and I post things in there for you. I've been working on, for the greater part of a year, a program, because it's a lot of work. Goodness gracious, it's a lot of work. I got the program, it's ready to go. Now I got to tell everybody this. I'm going to put it in TNT starting Monday. So if you're a TNT subscriber, you're going to get the beta version of it. But that's just going to be temporary for the next 60 days. This is huge, what I've developed. But I'm going to do it in my TNT program. Okay? Now, there's other things about TNT and the Telegram that goes on in that program. This is a way for me to kill two birds with one stone while I'm doing all the testing in real time. Who's in TNT right now? Who's in TNT? You just got about a $3,000 or $4,000 bonus being in TNT when you see this thing on Monday morning. It's set up, ready to go. Now, if you want to know more about TNT, let me just tell those people who are not members to listen. I start every morning about 5 posting my analysis of what happened overnight. I then go to what is hot. I talk about things that, based on my opinion, like China made that announcement, they're raising tariffs. I said it's not affecting the market today. It was not affecting the market. I also said that I believe they'll be selling bonds. That was posted at 5:15 in the morning. What did they do? They sold bonds. That is so valuable, okay? So valuable. Lower prices last night presented a tradable entry. Bank earnings this morning. These are kind of some of the things I bring to your attention every morning in TNT. Throughout the entire day, I post numbers, the RB1 numbers, the RB2 numbers, RB3 numbers, RB4, the daily rundown. Other things are posted there to help you. Here are some of the highlights. The Magic 5 ticker. I've had people in TNT send me text, Tom, you forgot to post the Magic ticker. I go, oh yeah, I forgot. And then I post it. 5 of them every day. Look at these tickers. You think it might have helped you to know when you woke up this morning, had that cup of coffee, that gold, SLV, BRK were going to be hot like they were today? Look at that. It was there this morning for everybody to see. Pretty powerful stuff. Berkshire, I'm checking out of the corner, is at 524. It's 516 this morning. Gold is at 297 and a half. It was at 295. Silver went up too. Silver's getting a little stronger today. Okay. That's posted in the morning. I've got a whole master class on how to use those. My daily pivot number. I put it in here. I put it in my T-Buzz TV. That number today was 5,300. Well, how could you use it? Well, market's at 5,400. That's 105 points from TNT this morning. Jim says he uses every ticker I post on the Magic 5 inside his daily watch list. Smart. There it is. Post it. The daily rundown. I give you an inside scoop of what happened in overnight markets and key trading areas and news for the day ahead. Today we had consumer confidence at 10. We post that before the market opens, where you got a research sheet to print off and have during the day. That's worth a fortune. It takes a lot of work to do that. We've got it. Chuck helps me with that. Major events, what's hot, what's not. Key numbers, it's all there. All before you get out of bed. A lot of work, isn't it? About an hour and a half worth of work I do every morning to post that stuff. Now, I got key times during 24-hour market. I post numbers in the TNT room for people to use. Reference bar 2, 5 o'clock this morning, it was at 52.87. High was 52.93. If you woke up and were above 5,300, you could have bought the market and made money. Reference bar 3, 52.90. Genesis, 52.81. Here it comes in play, 53.22. We're at 5,400. See the progression of the key numbers that are posted and the tickers I post for you every day. It's all good. We also put this out, which is 5 stocks that are going to surge for the next 45 to 60 days from swing to longer term option trading. That's all in TNT. That's what the blueprint looks like. Goes out on 8th trading day of the month. We got one coming up. Now, T-Buzz Talk Trade is simply a $200 monthly fee. If you join today, I'll give you the rest of April for free and May to be part of my test I'm running. That's a full month of May, plus the remaining 2/3 of April absolutely free. So here's what's coming over the next 45 days. I'm going to run my beta test inside TNT. So you'll get it Monday morning at 7, pre-market signal. I've been working on to automate everything that we did today. If you're there this morning, you'll appreciate it. Everything we did will come to a conclusion. It'll tell you to buy it, sell it, or stay out. All at about 10 after 7 in the morning. Very similar to Genesis, but automatically. Oh, let me stop there. Don't go to the next slide. Back up. How many people would really have an appreciation to have that signal in the morning like that when you woke up to see it? It ought to be worth $200 to join. Okay? Yeah, but I'm doing it at 200 because I want to get a lot of feedback, a lot of success using the sunrise signal. It'll happen Monday morning. This morning, what did it do? Let's see what it did this morning. Next slide, please. It said go long gold. Is that, would you know what to do if you had a signal called the sunrise signal? Go long gold at 7 o'clock in the morning? Rob said he would have a signal. Right prior. Nobody's got anything like this. So you know why they don't have it? Because I've been working on it for a lot of years and I've taken the knowledge, had it programmed just like Genesis right here in the pre-market. All that SQQ, TQQ I did, I got it solved for you. 7 a.m. in the morning. 10 minutes after 7, you'll get it, whether it's a long, short, or out. Gonna look at these markets in the morning: QQQ, SPY, SQQ, TQQ in the morning. I call it the sunrise signal. Long, short, or out signals at that time of the morning. I'll do a master class on Monday afternoon at 3. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that a way you want to start your day? The sunrise signal, the beta version, will be going Monday. Go to dtitrader.com/TNT. Get your spot 904-706-3532. The caveat is I will charge extra for the sunrise signal, but if you want to see it for the next 45 days, you got to be a member of TNT. 904-706-3532. You about to get a first class trip around the block. 7 o'clock in the morning. 7 o'clock. 10 after 7, actually. Go to dtitrader.com/TNT. Join. Tell me if you're going to take this offer. I need to know. Call 904-706-3532. Is that it, Jonathan?
That's it. I got a timer up and running so everybody can join.
All right. Tell me if you're going to do it. Kevin said he's in. Jennifer says she's in. Everybody here that wants to start out their day, here it is. All automatically for you in the morning. David said, I'm in. Join. Okay? Polly says, I'm a TNT member. You just handed me a $3,000 bonus. Thank you, Polly, for recognizing what I did. Now, remember, it's only for the next 45 days. The sunrise signal. I want y'all to make so much money off this thing. Dave says, get the Easter Bunny dropping off. Oh, it'll help you, David. It'll help you. You got to ask yourself, if you wake up in the morning and you get a signal that takes 40 years of experience, takes all the numbers that I do, integrates all that stuff, and gives you the automatic go, how valuable is that? I hope a lot of people take me up on this, because let me tell you something, folks. The sunrise signal, this is the way to do it. And the reason I'm doing it in TNT, because it's oriented there, but this is a special thing I put together, and I'm really going to work on it the next 45 days to get it through. Priceless. Dave just said, this is priceless. Aren't you glad you're a member of TNT already? You're already in for this 45 days. All right, y'all get joined. Let me know if you're going to join. I'd like to know that you recognize $200 for the next 45 days. First signal's Monday morning, Bruce. It's set up and ready to go Monday morning. Thank you, Jennifer. Hey, Jonathan, look at bonds. Told you they would do that, didn't I? That's two governments fighting it out in our bond market. Go America. Way to go, Bruce. I'm sure she is, Mel. Why don't you post your email and phone number, Jonathan, make sure she gets hold of you. You won't be there on day one. That's Monday. I'm glad you mentioned that. I just opened an IRA with them. Yeah, there's a Telegram channel called T-Buzz Talk and Trade. Thanks, Edwin. You got it. Yeah, I do that. It's there. It's there. We'll cover all that Monday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Just come up with the questions. I want as many people to do this as possible to give me feedback how good it is, because I've been working on this for a lot of years. If you're in Genesis, very similar, but this is going to come out at 10 after 7 in the morning. There you go, Mel. Nice trade. Who wakes up by 9:30 when the cash market opens? Are you gonna have this will be your first stop on the way to figure out what you're gonna do each day. Let me read what I just read. T-Buzz, I have tried over 30 different trading groups, and your roadmap software with Genesis is helping me become confident in my trade and once again profitable. Thanks for everything I do. Well, I've been doing it a long time, but that really does do this, okay? It'll be out at 10 after 7. $54.01. I'd say score a big victory for the USA, and bonds are 113.18. A big victory for the Treasury Secretary. You'll have the signal when you turn it on. I look forward after you see it Monday morning, give me feedback Monday afternoon at 3. That fellow that bought that option off Genesis for 2 made 25,000. I take my hat off to him. That's great. That's what that program was developed for. I want to hear some success stories from Sunrise too. All right, folks. John, if you want to go to a live market, wrap it up.
Yep, let's do that. What to look at first?
First thing I want to look at is what I'd like to look at, if it's okay, what the Sunrise signal said this morning. Gold, get long gold. Let's see if we've made any money. Put a daily in there. Are you going to draw it there? Where was it at 7 this morning? And does everybody see that? Jonathan, you already captured this slide, okay? That's pretty impressive. Put Berkshire in there. Did you get quotes on Berkshire that time in the morning?
I know.
How early did you get quotes on Berkshire?
7 a.m.
What time?
7 a.m.
7 a.m. right there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What price was that at?
Looks like the 520-ish, 521, 522.
Yeah, about 521, right?
That's right. That's the opening price.
Yeah, and it went to 526. Look at the high up there, 526. That was one of my magic 5. All right, put the QQQ in there. Circle the 7 o'clock time. What price was it at 7th?
Around 450.
450?
Right.
It's at 454 right now. So once you knew you had the number, you know what I mean? You could have used it from 7 all the way the rest of the day. Especially when it turned bullish up there after Genesis. Look at that. Pretty cool. All right. Put bonds in there. Circle the 7 o'clock time frame.
About
Sort
one.
of gave us a signal China was doing their thing, didn't it? Y'all see China, look at what China did. Everybody see that 7 o'clock in the morning where bonds were? Now circle that part over to the right, Jonathan, where they are now. That's what our Treasury Secretary did. He brought those suckers back. Yeah, if everybody gets signed up, I'll post something in TNT in about an hour, okay, Rick? 30 minutes an hour, I'll post something in there. I'll post an audio thing. All right. 5,400. VIX, where'd the VIX close? Futures, let me look at it real quick. 34.20, 35. So VIX broke its opening finally. Did everybody here, I meant to mention, did everybody have some of that BITO? Put BITO up there. Circle 7 o'clock on BITO. And circle the day where it ended. Y'all see my comment? Did you see my comment in TNT where I said BITO's got a bid? That's what I was talking about. Look at it. Showed up. That's the value of the sunrise right there. All right, go back to the slide presentation where those people about to sign up, want to sign up, get signed up. And y'all have a good weekend. I'll post something in about 30 minutes. Make sure Jonathan gets you into the room and see everybody Sunday night. No, I think that we've seen our low, and the problem is we got to wait and see what happens once some of these trade deals are announced and that kind of stuff. But the biggest thing you've got to focus on is when and what time Congress is going to pass this big, beautiful bill. Once that's done, then the second half of the year is going to be great. All right, thank you. JD just posted, copy what JD said. I've never seen words so true. Grace exposure to training about the markets. Find it. That was so nice. Grace exposure to training in a week. You got it, Jonathan. That's pretty good little testimony. Ever. That's a record. Thank you. No, there's not. Nope. Y'all have a good day. See you on the flip.